Hello and welcome to another interactive science for grade 4s. So today we'll be discussing what are weathering and erosion, and you'll find this in your interactive science books for grade 4 on page 255 to page 259. So in today's lesson we will be discussing Earth's surface, what Earth's surface looks like, what type of landforms you get, what weathering is, chemical weathering and physical weathering, what erosion is, and also depositing. So what does Earth's surface look like? Most of Earth's surface, which is 70%, is covered with water, and the remaining 30% take up the 7 continental land masses. The crust is broken into many large pieces or plates that move slowly relative to each other. Mountain ranges form when two plates collide and their edges are forced up. So what does Earth's surface look like? When we look at the core of the Earth, you can see here that molten lava moves up, or molten magma moves up, and then gets pushed away from one another. At the other edge, you can see that the tectonic plates collide with one another. When they collide, they move upwards and form mountain ranges like these. What are landforms? Mountains, hills, plateaus, and plains are the 4 major types of landforms. You also get minor landforms that include buttes, canyons, valleys, and basins. Tectonic plates move under the Earth and create landforms by pushing up mountains and hills. So mountains look like this and get pushed up yearly, and you can see these are plateaus. Plateaus are forms of landforms that are very flat and being eroded away by wind and water. Hills like these also form when tectonic plates move against each other, and these are plains. They are vast grasslands that form most of the Americas. Weathering is the breaking down of rock, soil, and minerals, as well as wood and artificial materials through the contact with Earth's atmosphere, water, and biological organisms. And when these soils break up, we call them sediments or sedimentary rocks. You get 2 types of weathering. You get chemical weathering and physical weathering. So first of all, let's take a look at what chemical weathering is. Chemical weathering occurs when water dissolves minerals in a rock, producing new compounds. So you can see here in caves, these formations called stalagmites form when water seeps through the rock and gathers minerals, and then they fall down and gather the minerals and harden. But if you look at this example, you can see that this rock statue has lost most of its features because of chemicals within rain and weathering. This causes rocks to dissolve and break down. So you can see there that the face doesn't even show anymore. The features of the hand and also most of the features on this statue has worn away because of weathering. Now, physical weathering is a term used by scientists that refers to the geological processes of rocks breaking apart without changing their chemical composition. This refers to the repeated freezing and melting of water within small cavities or creeps in the rock surface. So if you look here, a rock can have a small crease, okay? And when water gathers in there and temperatures go low, the water expands, forces the rock to break apart. More water comes in, and when it freezes, it eventually splits the rock into two pieces. Plants and roots also split apart rocks if they find their way into small cracks. So you can see here that a plant has found its way inside a little crack within a rock, and this plant grows and pushes the rock apart. Erosion in the earth science is the action of surface processes that remove soil, rock, or dissolved materials from one location on Earth's crust and then transports it to another location. The deposit is called sediment. You can see here that a large portion of the Earth has moved or has been washed away. In this picture, you can see that the grasslands have been washed away by water. Deposition is the geological process in which sediment soil and rocks are added to a landform or land mass. Wind, ice, water, and gravity transport previously weathered surfaces, material which, at the loss of enough kinetic energy in the fluid, is deposited, building up layers of sediment. So if you look at the model here, you can see that erosion takes place by weathering. So rocks break apart when they freeze, and wind and rain brings down these sediments and deposits them on the ocean. These sediments gather on the bottom of the ocean floor and can form something called sedimentary rock. Here we can see a great example of all this sediment being deposited at one point. I hope you've learned something new about what weathering and erosion is.